Hi there, and welcome to another one of my classic reviews where I pick one of my all-time favourite movies, give it a rewatch and then come review it. And in the build-up to Halloween I'm reviewing yet another horror movie, and this time I'm going for the absolutely classic Suspiria, the Italian horror film by Italian horror maestro Dario Argento. And Suspiria is a fantastic film. It's a film that is basically all style and no substance. But it has one of the best styles in cinema, and I think in this case the style absolutely is the substance. It's a film which is shallow and just pure horror schlock. It doesn't have any real depth to it, it's not a character study, it's not a thematically rich work. But in terms of just the way it looks, Suspiria is pretty much unbeaten in its realm. Suspiria is absolutely beautiful. Every single frame of this film is just tinged with colour. It's awash with shades of blue and pink and purple, and it's just filled with these neon tinged look and just this bright lighting and this bold lighting. There's a lot of red here as well, and even occasionally some really bright green and yellow. Visually it even goes weird in the way that it even places its shots. It has shots that look into mirrors or shots that go through a light bulb and distort the light. It has so many wonderful visuals that regardless of whether or not the film holds up in any other manner, visually it is an absolute masterpiece that just blows you away. I also want to highlight something that I rarely talk about in my reviews, the music in Suspiria. The score is absolutely amazing. It's so wonderful and something that I can just listen to in any day. It also provides a lot of tension. The music here has this very delicate sound to it at times, but it constantly builds up. It also uses voices and screams in its music. And the scenes are designed around the music quite often. It literally seems like scenes that lengthen just to fit a full track in, because the music itself provides so much tension to the film. The musical score is very deliberate, and the musical score really elevates a lot of the material. The opening scene of Suspiria, which is one of horror cinema's finest moments, is wonderfully done because it's just this slow build-up of tension using only the music and some very slow storytelling. But that first scene is so tense and it leads to an absolutely disgusting payoff. The gore and the horror in Suspiria is quite high for a film from the era, and it certainly doesn't hold back on the blood. It has a lot of bright red blood which is very unreflective and very strongly coloured. The use of space in Suspiria is also interesting, with a lot of curtains separating the space down and visually enclosing characters and locations. The other thing is just how fantastic the final few scenes are, the perfect payoff to the film. Suspiria is absolutely a wonderful style, and it is actually quite scary in parts. It certainly knows how to build tension and knows how to pay all that tension off. It's a film which constantly builds up and constantly builds up until it reaches an end which is legitimately kind of scary. The whole plot revolves around witches and witchcraft, and there's a whole thing here to do with people who don't believe in witches and people who do believe in witches, and the way that science and things can't quite explain witches. And to be fair, a lot of that sort of falls into the background. It's definitely not a film to watch if you want deep substance, or a film if you really want deep characters. It's certainly a film which is not an intellectual horror movie, which is often the sort of films that I have talked about on this channel before. But at the same time, there's nothing wrong with just a shallow, dumb horror film. Suspiria basically is that. It doesn't make much sense, it's pretty shallow, it's pretty stupid, and it's not even like dubbed very well. But in terms of just pure shallow enjoyment and shallow thrills, you don't get much better than what Suspiria offers. It offers a very atmospheric tale with a heavy mood. It has a wonderful soundtrack. It uses wonderful visuals. It's constantly interesting to look at. And even if it ain't the most deeper films, or the film which is the most easy to invest in because the characters are wafer thin, Suspiria holds up as just being a really obvious horror classic, and a film that is massively influential, and a film that has stood the test of time, even if there is a remake coming out this year. So Suspiria is just a masterpiece. It's obviously one of those films which isn't the most profound, but at the same time I can't really fault it as working as a horror film, and I think it is just really, really great. So that's what I think of Suspiria. I'd love to hear your thoughts if you've seen it, so please leave me a comment. If you like this review, please give it a like. If you want to hear more of my reviews, you're welcome to subscribe. If you want to read more of my reviews, you can follow me on Letterboxd or Twitter, links in the description, and thank you for watching.